have offices in, like I said, here in Troy and in Enterprise, Alabama, and as well as in Panama City Beach, Florida. We've had a large influx of work currently, and we're looking to expand. We're looking to try to add an office in Auburn, Alabama, sometime later this year. But currently we are we need to hire qualified candidates to help us handle the workload we have, all over the Southeast. And here in a little while, I'll try to share a screen with y'all if y'all can see it, and sort of give you an overview of where all our work is located and the type of work we do. We're mainly a professional land surveying company. We do anything from your small residential boundary surveys to large commercial developments and subdivision developments.
Sorry, excuse me, we're not seeing your screen. Are you sharing it?
Can we share it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me try to share that real quick.
Let's see here. No, that's not it. No, that's not it.
Did you close that down, Bob?
Routing map. There we go. Can y'all see that routing map now?
All right, now you're cooking.
Yeah. So this is just an overview of all the projects that we have on our books currently. You can kind of see, typically we have a lot going on in Auburn right now. We just don't have one, but typical spread for our projects would be anywhere from Auburn to the Gulf Coast. And we do spread out, we offer surveying services in Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi. So this just kind of gives you an idea. We got some jobs going around in Troy, a lot in Enterprise, and then we got a lot of work going on in Panhandle currently. This is one that I'm working on today, actually. This is a topographic boundary survey for a multifamily development. This is what the crews would see typically for every job. So, when you get out there in the field, you'd have access to the tax map, which would show the parcel that we're surveying. Then, you'd have access to the deeds that would have the deed for our subject parcel. And you have, any scope, or this as a topo site. So this is the area of the project of the topographical survey. And if I'm going too fast, just let me know, I'll slow down. And then we also have, I don't know if you can see all these, but it has all the adjoining deeds listed, the subdivision plats listed, and then the crew uploads their points in real time. As soon as they get done, they can upload their text file and their CAD file, so we can import it in and get in the computer and get rolling. If we need to comp points, we can upload those points to them. They can pull them into the data collector and look. So it's really set up to work remotely very well. We have some crews that they don't necessarily come to the office every day. They just kind of use this tool and they can access their jobs and request information and upload information as needed. That's just kind of back out to the overview of the scope of the projects we currently have going on right now.
Yeah, with the software that we have right here, we implemented this 3 or 4 years ago, and when the COVID and all the protocols were put in place for social distancing, it sort of fell in our wheelhouse. We were able to continue to do work uninterrupted while other people were trying to figure out how to handle the pandemic. We continue to do work just like we had been doing for the last 2 or 3 years, because we had utilized this software where we could work remotely. We'd already been doing it. Like I said, like Justin said, typically there's only a couple people in the office. Most everybody's working remotely, either from home or they're working, leaving their house if they have a vehicle, and just going to the job sites and getting the work done, uploading it to the cloud, and when it's done, the market is ready for drafting. The person doing the drafting will see all the points, put it in there, and we just coordinate everything, through the software, and just talk with everybody every day. With this setup that we have, is really, we're looking for very independent and motivated young professionals to come work for us, that you don't have to report to an office and do something every day. We want somebody that has enough initiative to go out and get these jobs done. We provide all the data and all the information there on that program, which you can access by one of the tablets that we use as data collection software, or your phone, that you'll have access to all the scope, all the documents, there in the field to get the job completed successfully. It's a really handy tool, especially with the times and everything. It just makes it helps us reduce our cost for clientele, of not having a bunch of people report to office. I mean, we can work a little more efficiently and produce products a little bit faster. To tell you a little bit more about, we got a really good opportunity down in Florida. We got a lot of work down there. We're trying to send people out of town, traveling a lot, but that's the Auburn market and the Florida market where we're really wanting to try to increase our presence over the course of next year, and which is why we wanted to have this meeting today, because we're looking for a lot of young professionals and people that want to grow with our company. The company is set up to at some point in time for younger professionals to buy the company from me. I am the primary owner of the company currently, but the company's set up to have stock options for somebody to come in and take ownership of what we've built and the large client list that we have and people that we do work for. And there's right now there's a lot of good potential with this. We have a lot of growth. I was going to tell you a little bit about our company as far as benefit wise. I was going to let Mandy sort of go over some of our benefits that we offer as part of our salary packages for employees.
Currently, we pay single coverage Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance, and we have an IRA you can contribute to. The company matches 3% or up to 3%. We have 6 paid holidays.
80, you get 80 personal paid time off hours a year that you can accrue through a year. You can roll over about 40 hours, or half of what you accrue during a year, or half of what you have left remaining if do the next year.
5 years of service is 3 weeks vacation.
Through year 1 to 4, you get 80 hours a year. If you think after employees in your 5 years, they get 120 hours of paid time off to use at your discretion. And if it affects any, I'm not sure if it does, but we also, I think we pay up to, we just are implementing paying up to a certain percentage of family coverage if you're married with kids, so we get things like that. As small companies, it's hard for us to do. We expect a lot out of our employees to get a lot of work, to get work done, so we can continue to offer these kind of benefits, because insurance is not cheap. 3% of your annual salary going into 401k, if you contribute, has a lot of money as well. So things like that is what we've had to start implementing and offering for potential clients, just so we can keep good, honest employees and keep everybody employed and handle the workload that we currently have. How many seniors, how many people are graduating here currently, if you don't mind me asking? 3 people fit to graduate. So, it's, you know, I love the opportunity to talk to all y'all, you know, about what you're planning. Do what now?
We have 7 students about to graduate.
Okay. All right. Do y'all have any questions for me, or Justin, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I'll add a little bit. Just, you know, Corey hit on the types of projects we do. One aspect that we do a lot of topographical and boundary surveys for smaller engineering firms that don't have their own surveyors in-house. So that's just a general, and those could be a broad range of projects. I mean, any engineering design type project, from a development to infrastructure rehabilitation. And then, like Corey said, we do a lot of residential boundaries, you know, large rural boundaries to, you know, small half-acre closing surveys. And then we do a lot of platting down in Florida, you know, where we do a large boundary and take it all the way through the platting process to the local city or local community, whichever one it falls in. Ramrick hit on, as far as internships, Dr. Ramrick, what would be the best thing? I guess I could send you all our contact information, so that way if anybody was interested in an internship or interested in talking to us about a job.
Typically, after the session, what they can do is they will send you an email, send you an email address, and with the cover letter and their resume and what they're looking for in terms of if it's a good fit. Now, can you give us an idea of how many co-ops are you looking at?
This summer, I know I've already talked to one gentleman that he was very proactive and come to us several months ago and said he really wanted to work this summer, but I was probably wanting to add, we're looking for full-time personnel, as well as a couple of co-ops through the summer to help us handle the current workload that we have. So at least 2 co-ops, and we're looking for some of the people that are graduating, some permanent positions also. So we have multiple positions that we would like to fill, temporary for the summer and then more long-term as well.
And just to give you an idea, I've been working here for about 8 months now. You know, when I started, it was 1 PLS and about 2 crews, and now we've got 3 PLSs and 5 crews, and we're looking to add more. So, you know, it's just, if you're interested, just let us know, and we'll see if we can accommodate it and see where you want to be at and how it works.
We're also fixing, we've been doing a lot of work here lately with some consultants, and we've been using a lot of going back to the type of work we do, we've been using a lot of LiDAR technology, and we're fixing to invest into with a drone with a LiDAR scanner just to help accommodate some of the workload and the type of projects that we have. And you know, that's another reason why we'd like to have some young good candidates from the program. The 3 PLSs that, you know, Justin mentioned, myself, him, and Zach Bradley are all Troy graduates. You know, we're trying to make the best in our profession and do the best we can with it. And we're looking for other young Troy graduates to help us grow the company.
But we do appreciate all that you have been doing, Corey. Corey, you all would not know this, he was a graduate of the program even before I came here. And he's also an adjunct professor and also past president of the ASPLS. So you get a quality education, hands-on. Corey, can you give us an idea as to what a typical day is for a co-op?
Typical day?
Yes.
So right now, currently, we work 4 10-hour days, Monday through Thursday. You're off on Friday. That may change because of just the amount of work that we have. We may have to go to 5 days a week, but normally the day starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. You do get a lunch break, and then, you know, we try to knock off at 5:30 in the afternoon. Depending on where you're working, if you're in Florida, you know, you may work a few more hours. But typically if you're reporting to the Troy office, you're here at 7, you're, either with one of the other crew chiefs, and you load the truck, make sure you have all the correct equipment, to complete the day's task: batteries, data collectors, total stations, GPS, just whatever you're doing for that day. You go with them and they use that same, program that Justin shared with y'all. It's on an app on their phone, and you go do the work, and then you're back here by a little bit before 5:30, where you unload the truck, put any batteries on charge that need to be charged. So it's just your typical 10-hour day for us. I mean, weather-wise, we try to work around the weather, and luckily we've been very fortunate that the weather hadn't affected our work schedule that much. We've got so much work that's sort of scattered around that usually we can find a dry place where it's not raining to go do work. But the work really itself it's hard, but you're not going to be. I mean, we're trying to be as very selective as we can. You're not going to be in the swamps every day, but we do have those jobs that do end up in the swamps, and in the summertime it's going to get hot. You're going to have heat and the 90-degree index, and you just got to prepare for the day, and drink a lot of water, and that's probably the hardest part of what we do with the type of work we do, is just in the summertime especially, is battling the heat.
Yep, and just touching back to what you might be doing, I mean, it also depends on your experience. I mean, if you have drafting experience, we may utilize an intern to come in and do some preliminary drafting, model up some deeds, or do just whatever you're capable of doing. But typically, the best way to get your foot in the door and gain experience is going to be in the field working with a crew chief. I mean, that's going to be your most direct route to getting experience.
Yeah. The model, what I've offered, Dr. Enroot, for graduates that we've interviewed and tried to hire here recently, is that if somebody comes in, my model, with the mentorship that the state requires, is year 1 to 2, that you'll be running a crew, working in the field, getting that valuable field experience. Somewhere at a 1.5 to 2, we'll start transitioning that candidate to the office to get some drafting or CAD experience, and maybe calculating deeds or running up deeds, and getting used to that process. And a certain percentage, mainly probably like a 70-30 in the field, 30 in the office. And year 3, you start transitioning more to office, and from 3 to 4, we try to have them into a junior project management role, to where we're assigning them projects. They're looking at it, they're assigning it to field crews, and they're checking all the data that comes in every day, making sure the scope is met to meet the client's needs, and then working on the final product, and working either doing the drafting on the job themselves or passing it off to one of the drafters, and working with them to get the job ready for signature and deliverable with an invoice. So I've tried to implement that structure for people. That way they can see a path to where they can get licensure. Now, I leave it up to the individual. If they can speed that up and prove that they're, that means they're more valuable to us, and probably to anybody. The quicker they go through that and get to that year 3-4 position of being a manager, is which is what I expect from Troy graduates. They're very, most of all of y'all in there will be very capable, be good PLSs at some point in time, but there is a certain amount of, I think you need that raw field experience, you need the drafting, you need to touch on each aspect of what we do, from being a rodman down to being a project manager. So what goes in when you're directing a field crew, what needs to be done is something that you've been out there and done yourself, and what is required to get the job done. So if you got somebody that's not producing what the quality of the work that you need, you can identify, hey, this doesn't meet our standard. You know, we got a set of standards in Alabama and Florida, and each is a little bit different. If you're doing an Alta, you got to do meet extra criteria to produce an Alta survey. So, you know, that model that I have sort of outlays to give you that experience and expose you to all aspects of what we do in this profession. Like I said, we have a vast variety of work from, like I said, the small boundaries to the big commercial developments, the topos, and we're doing a lot of construction layout. Justin has been involved with a huge layout project on Fort Brooker to where he had to meet an 1/8 of an inch tolerance on laying down anchor bolts. And it has been very tedious work. It's been very rewarding work. But you know, 1/8 of an inch tolerance on this multi-million-dollar building that they're fitting to construct, and if an anchor bolt's not right place, we're liable. And Justin has done a very good job of handling and managing that project. But I think he gets to use a lot of his education that he gained at Troy, and he's actually applying it out there in the field on these jobs, and he has the experience. He knows how to handle these situations.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, all the principles that you learn in school, you're going to use for the rest of your life, and certainly there's no way around it. If you don't learn it in school, you're just going to have to relearn it when you're out in the real world.
Exactly, and paying for a 20,000 anchor bolt to be pulled up and replaced ain't no fun. So I mean, using your education and crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's is very important, and that's why we've made the decision that we want to hire more Troy graduates to help us grow our company, because I think we can build, that helps us build our company to where we want to be.
My apologies, Justin, for not recognizing you, because I know where it's going now. He is also one of my past students. It's good to see you all. Very good. It's good to see that you all are coming back to higher quality students, quality education. And we do appreciate it. Do you all have any questions?
I do. What type of equipment are y'all using?
We primarily, through the course, we have some Trimble equipment. There's some old TDS software, but over the past few years, I've actually bought a couple businesses for smaller survey companies that were having trouble, or for whatever reason had the opportunity. And in that process, we primarily went to using TopCon robotic equipment, and we've got turned on to using a lot of the Sakia and TopCon GPS and magnet field data collection software with the FC5000 and FC6000 data collectors. They're really good tablets. They have aerial images behind the screen of what you're doing. We try to do all our work on a state plane coordinate system, so you can see the work as you're doing it. If you're a topo in the woods, you can see coverage, you can see open areas, roads, and everything. It makes it, it's been very good. A lot of our employees and crew chiefs seem to like that software. It's very easy to catch on to. I think the software was designed for people that are out oriented to catch on and utilize the software very easily. But primarily we're TopCon and Sakia based equipment, and just because we've acquired so much of it over the past few years in buying some other companies and some of the software that we already had. But we do have a couple Trimble GPS that we utilize that is really good GPS. It's just some older stuff, but the equipment industries, and when either you go all TopCon or all Leica or all Trimble, you can't. Used to, at one point in time, show my age, many years ago, you could mix and match all the software. You could have Trimble GPS, like a total station or robot, and some other kind of data collection off the wall SMI data collection software, and everything worked together. You know, that's the thing of the past. Is if you're gonna go Trimble, you got to go all Trimble. If you're gonna go TopCon, you got to go all TopCon. But we run in the office. We run Carlson Survey with AutoCAD, OME AutoCAD. It's very surveyor friendly, I'll say. It's designed by surveyors and it runs inside AutoCAD. And a lot of the same functions inside Carlson are what you would see out in the field on your data collector. So it's, you know, it's very economical and very easy to use for this field.
Another thing with our equipment, we've kind of shifted from using just a straight point code list and then processing the point codes in the computer after y'all are finished to when you still have a point code list, but you're drawing the lines in the data collector in real time. So, you know, anything you shoot a road, you're seeing the road being drawn in real time. And then when you finish, you export the points, but you also export a CAD file out of the software. And it comes, you know, so basically the three-dimensional lines come out of the software and we drop them straight into the computer and use those 3D lines to help generate our surfaces. So that's kind of something that we're in the working process of getting it all hammered out. Just a little different, but it's pretty cool just to be able to see those lines and curves being drawn in real time in your hands on a big screen, you know, and we can overlay aerials behind it, and I can export CAD and you can lay a CAD or a PDF in behind it. It's pretty slick.
With the Survey Stars and the cloud stuff, we based management software that we use that Justin shows you, and that software works really well together, and it affords us to, if you get in a situation where you don't know what to do, we really have the ability to help and direct you into what needs to be done next pretty easily, as long as one of the PLSs or project managers are available to discuss it with you. What kind of software y'all used to work using it there at the university? I know y'all probably have a variety of.
Carlson right now.
Yeah, Carlson makes some good software. Equipment, survey equipment. It's basically, I think it's a derivative of some of the what's that GPS, that Epic.
Yeah, all their hardware. They don't manufacture hardware,
Right.
but they manufacture software.
Yeah.
But they, I've used a lot of the Carlson stuff recently, and
Yeah,
it's good stuff. The TopCon, I think, is a little more user friendly. It seems like it's quicker to train people on the top or the magnet field. You know, TopCon's data collection software. The hardware, I mean, it's more the training than the software.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all these TopCon has Sakia. I mean, Trimble has an Epic or something. I mean, it's all, they all have the Chevrolet or the GMC models of their equipment. So they all have here's the Cadillac version, here's the four-man version type software. But everything that we run is very user-friendly, and I would expect y'all to Troy graduate, Troy students to be able to catch on to it very, very quickly. The biggest thing that we look for is somebody that knows how to close traverses, when to use GPS and when not to. I mean, GPS is a great tool, but sometimes it needs to be left in the truck and not be utilized for certain tasks. You got to be able to recognize which tool to use to complete what task. And that comes with a lot of experience. As the technology gets better, you know, you're able to do a lot more different things with GPS versus a robot, you know. So it just depends on the situation, and we leave that up to the person in the field to make that decision of what tool to use to accomplish the task at hand.
Okay, you have more questions? Does Carter Reyes work with you?
Carter does work with us. I think he's getting finishing up his second degree. He works on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, currently. I think he's gonna start doing some, CAD work, fill a CAD position this summer for us, because we have a need for somebody doing, more CAD work. And, so we have, Sawyer McKenzie that works for us. He works 2 days a week currently. And, I'm not sure how many you know, but, Blake Stevens works for us. He's actually enrolled, but he's not doing online courses right now. He's actually worked for us about 4 years. He's probably our senior crew chief right now. He's been with us the longest and has the most experience of, the people we have. He's very good at what he does, and he'll be an asset to our profession one day.
Good. All right, so,
So to answer that, so, that's what you said. We got, Blake is online, Carter Ray, Sawyer McKenzie, myself, Justin, and Zach Bradley. So we have six people employed here that either have graduated from Troy or are currently going to school at Troy in the geomatics program, and we're looking to add more. So.
very good, and I think you are doing excellent. Your competitor was in contact with me recently and begging for people. So keep doing what you all are doing.
That's why I hired his people. So
I know. What we will do, make your information available, and students, I'm sure, is going to be contacting you all. All right. Thank you all very much. Y'all stay safe, and hopefully very near future you all can come and visit us face to face.
absolutely, we appreciate the opportunity and wish you well. If we can help you in any way, don't hesitate to come see us or give us a call.
All right.
I look forward to hearing from y'all.
Okay. Thank you.
Right.